Hello, living in Boulder vlog for August 9th, 2019 on Friday. Right now it's 4:28 a.m. on August 10th, Saturday. It's late because I was working. I'm doing the same thing that I was doing yesterday, just tracing buildings. I can't remember where I thought I was going to be today. But what I did today was I just traced a bunch of everything. I have all these different towns and buildings. The images plastered onto Google Earth on the mountains and in the flat parts of the mountains where it would be scenic to put a city, a town. So I put a whole bunch of towns all up in there, and I have them for towns, and then I have another for the kingdom, and then I have for the republic when it gets bigger. I have a bunch of what I call like mountain villas, like big houses, and so when you put it all together, I think it pretty much fills up the mountains here. All the good spots. There are a few places you could put more stuff, I guess, but it's time consuming. There's lots of towns. The biggest one's Orvieto. It's like 4.2 kilometers or around. But so that's a lot of buildings. I have to trace all the buildings. I'm not tracing every building. That would take forever. That'd be nice if I could, but I don't have the patience. So I'm kind of clumping them together and just tracing buildings. And then I'll put those up on, three-dimensionalize them. And you get a realistic looking village on the side of the mountain, and these villages that I'm lifting them from are actual villages here on the tops of mountains. And and I'm putting appropriate stuff all over. So this is, so today was just spent tracing, yesterday and today, 2 days, just tracing. And then I don't even get done with something, and then I trace something else. And so, yeah, I just started Orvieto, and that was the last thing that I hadn't started yet. So I started with everything. And so, yeah, and most of the way through with most things. So tomorrow, I think it'll be one more day of tracing tomorrow, just all the little buildings in these towns, lots of towns. And then, other things that I haven't finished, like next to the racetrack, there was BouldeRome in another neighborhood. And then day after tomorrow, three-dimensionalize them. So I guess that would be Sunday, three-dimensionalize them all. And I don't know if I'll continue another week, because that will have made it a week. I think I started on a Monday. If I get to a good stopping point at that moment, and I feel like I've done quite a lot in that 1 week, I might bounce and do something else. If I'm in the middle of something and I think I need just another week just to make it catch up, then I'll stay another week, but only if it's convenient for me. Like I can do it without thinking, autopilot. I'm always shooting for autopilot. And autopilot, though, for me is driven by, or either autopilot or obsession, driven by when it's something that's really interesting to me. But, so I think that, one thing I might want to do, if I can get to a satisfied level of that, is just to spend like a day or maybe a week fixing links on my timeline. From the horizontal to the vertical part of all of the pages, the kings. That would be awesome. And maybe I could do perceived a lot in a little period of time. Give it a week and maybe fix all of them. Oh man, I saw a page, my free audio history books. I have pages where I collect all the books you can get for free on Kindle and LibriVox, and to take it with you, to be portable with you. But in the religion, history, and philosophy sections. But my France page, all the links are broken. So like I never finished France or something. It's crazy. Couldn't believe it. So I'm gonna have to try to fix that one day, pretty soon. Yeah, so that's what I'm up to. And so hopefully tomorrow I can finish tracing all the buildings in all the towns. I have all those little towns that I'm just tracing everything off the image, but then there's another thing that I'm tracing, the two towns that or I guess the town of the houses, which is more detailed, of rich people in the Beverly Hills, and then the town that I made, based off of the neighborhoods here in Boulder where I lived. The second house we lived in. So yeah, so that'll be interesting. I put the castle or the palace that Emperor Tiberius lived in. Emperor Tiberius, the second emperor of Rome, never didn't spent the last 5 years of his life or something like that, not even in Rome, just on an island, on a palace on the top of a cliff. And so I got the blueprint of that palace, and I put it on top of Long's Peak. So that's the story, that the second emperor of BouldeRome went and hung out in the palace on Long's Peak and didn't come down. Yeah, one more day. As far as listening, I listened to Rousseau, Social Contract, and now I'm doing Descartes' Meditation. I want to do some more of those enlightened. I'm on an enlightenment kick right now, so just want to listen to a bunch of that stuff. Don't have anything to say about it right now. I'm kind of high. I've got asthma. I shouldn't have bought weed. I don't know what I was thinking. I just desperation, stress from being overwhelmed from my website and doing all the different pages, I guess. I just bought weed to smoke, but now I can barely breathe. That sucks. I should have bought edibles, but I can't afford to buy any more weed this month, so I'm almost out of weed. When I run out, I think if I get desperate, I'll buy edibles, but I won't buy anything more to smoke. Oh, it's a mistake. I love edibles. Edibles aren't that expensive if you get it, with a discount. Like for once a month, you can get $35 off. So for $75, you can get like 3 containers, and that's enough for like a week or 2 or something to stay high. But I love getting high on edibles, man. Maybe I'll spend more money, or next month I'll try to go the rest of the month sober. If I feel like I want to get high while I'm working, maybe I'll just work on something else, something that you need to be more sober for, like writing. Maybe I'll start writing or something. I don't know. But I'm going to, tomorrow is tracing. Listening to the Enlightenment was fun, and then tracing. Buildings. And I might want to put more buildings up there. If I can make it seem make a big, extended village, neighborhood of cities, really populated, and then connect it with nice roads. I built one 3D road that goes across the cliffs before. I got started on this a couple years ago. Can't remember exactly when. I wish I knew. Maybe I could figure out when by looking at the timestamp of the image and Flickr. Maybe I uploaded it to Flickr. Or maybe it'll say actually on my computer. I should look. But a few years ago, and I can't even remember how long it was. Maybe it was a week or 2. What I did was I thought of all these different picturesque mountain villages from Italy, or castles, or picturesque castles on top of cliffs, and then I tried to put them on top of some mountains here in the mountains, and so I tried to situate them exactly on top of the mountain, right in the perfect spot, the perfectly appropriate, village or castle to fill it up well, and for the lakes and for the mountaintops. And so that took a while, but then I was kind of burnt out and I just bailed. So when I started working on it now, I didn't even have to think about that at all. I just mindlessly just started tracing. But I saw one that I built before. I guess I was testing it, but it looks really good on the side of the mountain because it looks really realistic, because you put the buildings, and then the buildings are all their own height on the side of the mountain going down, then you build a road, and it looks like a beautiful village. So then you can do cinematography around it. I can't wait for that. So anyways, that's enough talking. Hopefully tomorrow when I do my video, I'm gonna be done tracing, and I'll be ready to start doing the 3D the next day. Hopefully, we'll see. This kind of stuff that I'm doing, it's really difficult to predict exactly how long it's going to take you to do stuff, but I like to do that. And I think I'm pretty good at predicting abstract stuff like that. So, and my key to predicting stuff is just predict really far out. Most people, they predict too soon. And then they get themselves to disappointed. So why not just predict far out the first time, and then you get spot on, like me with my timeline. My website. I'm like, yeah, I'll be done in 5 years, dude. I'll be done for sure in 5 years, right? So that's like a long time. It's like thousands of days. What's that, like 1,500 days or something? Almost 2,000 days. So that's enough time because I can do a lot in one day. That's enough time to complete all kinds of stuff, dude. So, and maybe even start some things. One thing that would be like the magnum opus for me, for my life, would be to make a map of policy, get a political policy thing going, and just based off of charts and maps, like history of laws and links, all the best place, and your opinion about everything memorized in video format and written format. That's what I want to eventually do. But I'm not in any rush. Like when I'm done with what I'm started, I should take some time off for sure. Get back into shape and stuff. Anyways, enough talking. I might try to go to sleep or just work a little bit more. I don't know. The work I'm doing now is super easy. It's just tracing buildings. And then tomorrow, hopefully I'll be done. All right, later.